Let me paint you a picture. You wake up, fully rested, mind sharp. You did your morning workout. Your to-do list is ready. No distractions, no social media rabbit holes, no junk food. You feel like today is the day, the perfect day to push the needle forward in your research. You walk into your lab, excited, energized. You're about to run that one experiment, the one that could unlock your next paper, maybe even your first publication, or help you meet the deadline for that top-tier conference you've been eyeing. But then the experiment fails, and suddenly everything spirals. You freeze, your heart starts to race, and all that confidence you built up in the morning, gone. Before you know it, your mind is whispering all the worst things. What if my professor finds out? Will he think I'm incompetent? My lab mates probably think I'm a joke. Maybe I'm just not cut out for research. My career's done before it even began. I need to eat something, anything, just to feel better. Forget waking up early tomorrow. I can't even sleep tonight. Sound familiar? If it does, you're not broken. You're human. But here's the real question, the one that separates thriving grad students from those teetering on the edge of burnout. What story are you telling yourself when things go wrong? See, grad school isn't just about mastering your research, it's about mastering your mindset. You can have the perfect routine, the most advanced tools, healthy habits, great time management, even a strong support system. But none of that can protect you if your interpretation of failure constantly drags you down. And let's be real, in research, things will go wrong. Not once, not twice, but regularly. That's not failure. That's the job. What nobody tells us clearly enough is this. Graduate school isn't about how many times you fall down. It's about how you frame those falls, how you interpret them. Because interpretation is that invisible force that can either turn a failed experiment into a breakthrough or send you into a downward spiral of self-doubt and stress. It's like having two voices in your mind, one that punishes and one that empowers, and the voice you feed determines your entire trajectory. The good news? You always have a choice. Even in the hardest moments, even in the silence after a failure, you get to choose which voice leads. Let's go back to that moment, the failed experiment. Same lab, same you, same result, but this time, a different lens. All right, the experiment didn't work, but I followed the steps. Maybe my professor and I can explore a new direction. My lab mates, they've all been through this. It's part of the process. One failed experiment doesn't mean I'm incapable. It just means I need to tweak and try again. This isn't the end. I still have time. I can pivot and move forward. No need to stress eat tonight. I've got dinner planned. I'll stick with it. I'll sleep well, wake up tomorrow, and keep my morning routine. That's what will carry me through. Same day, same setback, entirely different future. Why? Because you chose a different interpretation. And here's what actually happens when you choose to reframe failure, not as a judgment, but as growth. Your brain opens up. You start generating new ideas. You see alternate routes, fresh hypotheses, smarter tweaks you missed earlier. You move from panic to possibility, from frustration to curiosity. You regain your agency, and that changes everything. Instead of shame, you see support. You recognize that your professor isn't out to get you. They're here to guide you. Your lab mates aren't judging you. They're human too, and they've been there. You stop internalizing every failed trial as a personal defect. You build resilience, not because you're avoiding failure, but because you're learning from it. And your research, it actually grows deeper. That failed experiment might lead to a richer discussion section, a clearer insight, or even a novel direction reviewers will thank you for exploring. Even better, you begin to lead your own research with confidence because you're not afraid of what failure says about you anymore. That mental shift, that's freedom. Most importantly, you stay in control of your life. You don't spiral into unhealthy habits. You stick to your plan. You eat well. You sleep. You run. You create a healthy loop, one that supports your long-term success instead of sabotaging it. You stop relying on motivation and instead start building momentum. Because reframing doesn't erase the problem, it reveals the possibility. Here's the truth that hits hard but saves lives. You can have all the tools, mentors, and motivation in the world, but if your default interpretation of setbacks is self-blame, you'll never feel safe enough to grow. You'll question yourself constantly. You'll burn out. You'll walk away from something you could have mastered simply because you believed the wrong story. And sadly, no one sees that version of your story on paper. No one reads that in your thesis, but it's there, quietly shaping your outcomes from behind the scenes. It's the invisible pressure that pushes you toward perfectionism, avoidance, or burnout. But when you learn to treat failure as feedback, as information, not identity, you begin to thrive. You stay calm under pressure. You learn faster, you recover quicker, and more than anything, you stay in the game long enough to win. Because in research, you don't have to get it right every time. You just need one breakthrough, and reframing your mind is how you hold on until that breakthrough arrives. So, how do you start? Right now, today. Step 1. Pause. When something goes wrong, don't react. Just breathe. Let the emotional waves settle. Step 2. Name it. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Bring that thought into the light. Step 3. Flip it. What's another way to see this? What's the version of the story that helps you grow instead of shrink? Step 4. Live it. Act from that new interpretation. Reach out for help. Reset your routine. Keep showing up. Step 5. Repeat. This isn't one and done. It's a skill. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. And the beauty is, the more often you do this, the faster you bounce back next time. You become not just smarter, but stronger. You train your nervous system to trust you again, to trust that setbacks aren't danger signals, but invitations to grow. Over time, your mind stops defaulting to destruction and starts defaulting to direction. So hear me clearly, right now. You are not failing. You are learning. You are growing. You are becoming someone who won't just survive graduate school. You'll own it. You'll come out stronger, wiser, and ready for what's next. But it starts with how you interpret this moment. This very one. Just because your experiment failed doesn't mean you're not good enough. Doesn't mean you'll never publish. Doesn't mean your career is over. Every great researcher you admire, they've failed. They've cried. They've doubted themselves. But what made them great was how they interpreted those moments. They didn't quit. They reframed. And they kept going. So if this hit home for you, I want you to do one thing right now. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one thing you've been interpreting negatively that you'll reframe starting today? Your story might just be the spark someone else needs. And if you want more videos like this, ones that turn pain into power and help you stay grounded through the storms of graduate school, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss what's next. You've got this, not because this is easy, but because you are learning to lead your mind. Now go and keep rewriting your story.